Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about what I wish I knew before going into art school, or as you guys know, going into a university and majoring in arts, either of those situations. When I was in high school, I was a scared little bean who had many things to worry about. But honestly, if I could go back in time, I'd be like, stop thinking about these things, you need to think about these things. So I'm here to tell you what those things are. Before we get into it, just a friendly reminder to like and subscribe. And if you actually do want to subscribe, you gotta hit the stupid bell icon. YouTube makes me so mad that you have to hit a second button. But like if you're subscribed and you don't have the bell icon, you might as well not be subscribed. So just do me that favor and let's get into it. So the first thing that I would say is if you're going to buy supplies ahead of time, you can guaranteed rely on you're gonna need charcoal and big 18 by 24 drawing pads. That is such a must for like the first 2 years of college, I swear to you. And that goes for university or for art school. And it goes for all majors. If you're a sculptor, they'll still have you draw charcoal. If you're a film person, they'll still have you draw charcoal. Like everything is charcoal. So if you're like sitting at home and you're thinking, I don't know what supplies to bring some charcoal, get the Vine charcoal, get like a selection, you know, get like anywhere from the 2HB all the way to the 6B. You need erasers, get yourself a big ass thing of drawing paper. Also get newsprint. You're gonna need a lot of newsprint, like a lot of newsprint, especially if you're going into illustration. All those human figure classes, my God, you're gonna need it. So those are supplies guaranteed. Like I'm so positive you're gonna need those things. When you get to school, they're going to give you supply sheets about what the things that you're gonna need. Be cautious with those lists. This is a general rule for pretty much all majors, but man, art majors, they screw you over. They'll give you these lists of supplies and you'll use anywhere from like a third to like 2/3 of what's on the list. I'm not sure if there's ever been a class where I genuinely used every single thing that was on the list. Ask your professors, be like, you know, what stuff are we gonna use the most? Like what's the most important stuff and what's the stuff that like would make my life easier but I don't technically need to buy? Because the last thing you want to do is just load up on a ton of supplies that you're gonna have to like sell back later or that you're just gonna have to hang around. Honestly, one of the worst decisions I made was when I went to UConn, they told us that we needed an iPad. Needed. So I got an iPad and we ended up using it for Premiere Pro, or not Premiere Pro, it was the iPad users, iMovie. We ended up using it for iMovie, but that was it. Like that purchase was not needed. So be cautious. Don't just go running over to the art store and buying every single thing. Take a minute. You're gonna need the supplies, but like take a minute. Be frugal. That's another thing I have to talk about is being frugal. It's very easy when you're a freshman or any year of college really, but it's particularly when you're a freshman, you're on your own and you want to spend a lot of money. You're like, I'm gonna buy cool clothes because I'm gonna be a cool person and I want to make friends and that requires cool clothes. I want to hang out with my friends and that means going out to eat a lot. I get it. I totally get it. There is a convenience store that's very close by to my apartment and they have taken so much of my money because I'll just be like, I need a bag of chips. But, but that doesn't mean you should be just spending all over the place. Don't do it on art supplies, and likewise, don't do it on just lifestyle purchases. It's not good for your wallet, it's not good for you in the long run. Try to rein it in, create a budget for yourself, stick to the plan, okay? This is the long run that we're talking about. This next one is also pretty important, and that is learn the Adobe suite. Here are the programs that I would learn, okay? You need to know Photoshop. You should know a little bit of Illustrator. You should know a little bit of InDesign. You should know a little bit of Premiere. And then depending on your major, you might need to know some other programs. But if we're talking about going into illustration, Premiere, that's something that like they're gonna make you do a video at some point in freshman year, most likely. So that's just to get you through freshman year, just to get that whatever video class out of the way, right? But the other three, those are important for the long run. Photoshop, you're gonna need to know, even if you're not a digital artist, you're gonna need to know how to manipulate your images. So if you're a traditional artist, you're gonna have to eventually photograph that work, put it into Photoshop and edit it and put it online or sell a print or something like that. So you need to know Photoshop. You need to know Photoshop. Illustrator, not something that you like need to know, but you are probably going to have a few assignments that require Illustrator. For example, logo design. Logos have to be done in Illustrator because anything done in Illustrator can be resized to anything. You could create a logo that's this big in Illustrator, and it could be blown up to the size of a billboard, no problem. Crisp edges. Can't do that in Photoshop. So you need to know some Illustrator, a little bit. And you need to know InDesign, because guess what? If you are an illustrator, your artwork is gonna have to go on a page of some sorts, most likely, potentially. So you're gonna need to know like a smidgy poo of graphic design, at least in mass art. Our whole thesis has to go in books. Everyone has to create a book. So you will do yourself the biggest favor if you do just like a couple YouTube tutorials. Just open up the program like once, get that free 3-month trial of Adobe, open up the program, click a few buttons, just test the waters, just get over your fear at the very least of these programs, because you're gonna need to know them. You are going to need to know them. This next one is a little bit about stress and time management. For one thing, you do not need to pull all-nighters. I know there's a lot of people on the internet that are like, you know, oh my God, I've pulled like a million all-nighters every single year. I live off of coffee, blah, blah, blah. And I know that some majors are more demanding. If I was in animation, I probably wouldn't be saying this, right? But your goal should be to get through college without pulling an all-nighter if you can. You should really create a schedule, get yourself a planner, get yourself a calendar, make sure that you've got your time management together, because then you're not gonna have to pull all-nighters. You're not gonna have to have a coffee addiction. And that's so much better for your health in the long run. Also, some people can pull all-nighters and do a really great job, and they can move mountains. Other people, they'll pull an all-nighter, but like, what's the point? They got no work done. And if you do, follow the directions that are online with the whole drinking water, eating when you're supposed to eat, drinking coffee when you're supposed to drink coffee. I can't give you that advice because I've never done an all-nighter, but there's advice out there for pulling an all-nighter, and that's that. The next one is if you are in financial straits, you might need to get a job while you are at school. If you are not in financial straits, it's probably a best idea not to do it. The stress of trying to balance school, particularly art school, with a job is hard. It's really hard, even for the people who have the best time management. Problem is that sometimes projects take a lot longer than you think. That happens so much. Or sometimes like shit hits the fan. I've had things happen where my Photoshop file corrupted and I lost an entire project. Rip that cat picture. You never know. Or sometimes like you have to scrap a project or something. It's a hard life out there. If you can, try not to get a job, but if you do have to get a job because you gotta pay bills or something, then you have to really stay on top of your schedule. That means waking up early to get some work done in the morning. That means being real tight with your free time. It might mean sacrificing a little bit of time with your friends or something, but that's what you gotta do in order to balance it, because you do not want to get crappy grades, because that's going to lead to a crappy portfolio, which is going to lead to a crappy life, and you don't want to get fired. Simple as that. And then because we're talking about time management a lot, remember to do personal work. This is something that I never thought would happen to me, but it happened to me and everyone else in my freshman year going into UConn, and then I remember overhearing it from freshmen at Mass Art. I was someone who did tons of personal work when I was in high school. I did so freaking much of it, but when I got to school, I got really caught up in everything that was college. I was focused on my classes, I was focused on all my art projects that I had to do, I was focused on my friends that I was trying to make, I was doing all this stuff, and then suddenly, like, 5 months goes by and you're like, oh my God, I haven't done anything that was like just for me. You need to do personal work. I don't care how busy you are, you need to do just like a little bit for yourself, because college is all about having yourself grow as an artist. The school's gonna push you, right? Like, you're going to get that from the school, but they're only doing the 50%. You have to do the other 50 in order to get that 100% full perfect you, okay? That means doing personal work, and that means being on top of your schedule. Can you tell that timing is a really big part of this? It's huge. This is a general rule for foundation year, but foundation year, they're gonna make you do a whole bunch of things that are very out of your comfort zone. They're gonna make you do film, they're gonna make you do sculpture, they're gonna make you do performance art, they're gonna make you do animation. They're gonna give you a little taste for all the departments, because you might change your mind and change majors, or they wanna expand your horizons, etc., etc. These are all very good things. What that means is, don't kill yourself Because if you know for fact that you are not going into film, why are you trying to make like an IMAX Disney Pixar amazing movie? Like, there's no need, right? And this pains me, but if you're in the foundation classes and you're doing drawing or something that's related to the field that you know you're going to go into, obviously put in 110%. But if it's another class that clearly you just have to do in order to graduate, don't kill yourself over it. I mean, put in the hard work, get the most out of it. But I mean, that's not where your focus should be. I'd much rather have you focusing on your personal work and the classes that are going towards what you're doing in your major than focusing on some project that literally is not even going to matter one semester later. So don't kill yourself over the unnecessary classes. This one's kind of surprising, but you need to take care of your back, your shoulders, and your arms. I'm sure many of you guys know about drawing exercises where you can work your wrist and stuff like that. That's obvious. We feel pain there immediately. Your back and your shoulders, you feel that long term. I remember freshman year, sophomore year, I didn't have any back pain. I was completely fine hunching over, and now I'm almost a senior and I have a lot of back pain. I have a friend who is seeing a chiropractor for her back pain. And I have another friend who's going to see a massage therapist in a couple days because of her back pain. Literally all of us have back pain. So please take care of your back. That means good posture, which I'm totally not demonstrating right now, but I'm still learning it myself. Artists spend a lot of their time hunching over. And I get that. You probably are still going to have to spend your entire life hunching over. But that means you need to do stretches and exercises to make sure that your back is not going to die by the time you graduate. Because it's a very unsexy look to get your diploma and walk across the stage like a friggin' gorilla. So let's not do that. Please take care of your posture. And along those lines, do some exercise. Make sure you're drinking water. Eat healthy food. It's all to keep you moving, to keep your energy going, okay? Exercise is important. It clears your head. It gets you out of the funk that sometimes school can get you into, all the stress. And then, of course, eat good food. Eating good food does a huge number on how much work you can do, believe it or not. As amazing as it is to have a school cafeteria and not have parents to tell you, no, don't eat pizza and brownies like every single freaking night for 2 semesters straight, like I did once. You're gonna be tempted to eat all the crappy food because you're free to do that, but don't do that because you're gonna feel sluggish, your acne is gonna act up, you're gonna get the freshman 15, and you're just not gonna feel very good, and it's gonna show up in your productivity. And we have to stay productive, guys. We have things to do. And then the last one is kind of like a general rule of thumb for all freshmen, not just art students, but this one's crucial. Be a little careful with who you make friends with freshman year. Problem with college, and this isn't really a problem, but it's a thing, is that everyone comes into college and you're desperate to make friends because you have no friends and you're in a very strange environment and you just want people to make you feel secure, right? So everyone is trying to make friends and the school promotes that. They're gonna do lots of events and lots of games and icebreakers and other cringy things. Lots of things to get you to meet other people. And you naturally, even you introverted people, are gonna find yourself talking to a lot of new people all the time. Ergo, you're going to, talk to a lot of people and make a lot of friends. Here's the thing though, not everyone is a good friend. People can be very deceiving freshman year because you think everyone is like you, innocent, pure, naive, looking for a good time. There are some people that you do not want to hang out with, and you will not recognize these people immediately, but they will come out of the woodworks. Man, freshman year at UConn, I knew a few people, really, really bad people. And even at Mass Art and even talking to my other friends who were going to art school, we're not maybe talking bad people per se, but just like negative people that you don't really want in your life. People who complain a lot, people who can't handle art school and they make you feel like you can't handle it, people who are drama queens, etc., etc. There's bad juju out there. You need to protect yourself from it. Get a feel for the people who are around you, but don't be afraid if someone's giving you a red flag to start to distance yourself from them, because you don't need a leech on your energy. Be a little wary. That said, the friends that you make freshman year, if you find some gems, they will last you a long time. I'm not saying be wary of every single person that you meet. It just means don't become BFFs with 80% of your school's class, because you're bound to find some rotten eggs, and that's just not going to be a good look for you. You're going to find yourself in predicaments later. So I think that's about it. Take care of your health, take care of your wallet, take care of your time, watch your friends, learn as much as possible. That's more or less the full sum of it. A basic word to all freshmen: it's gonna be okay. Everyone goes through it. Everyone that's been to college has been through it. It's a wild freaking fucking trip, but it's fine. You will be just fine. And you can take that from me. Now, if you have additional questions, even if it could be something stupid, it could be like, how is the food at Mass Art? You can leave the questions down below. I'm more than willing to help. I can't answer every single question. There might be things that are out of my realm. For example, I really only know illustration. If you want to be like a sculpture major, I can't, like, I'm not, I'm not the best person to talk to. But don't be afraid to call up the school that you're thinking of applying to and just being like, hey, I have a few questions about the sculpture department. I have a few questions about this. I have questions about that. Man, I did that all the time when I transferred. I had them on speed dial. I was calling them so much. That's fine. Ask as many questions as you need down below or wherever. You can also email me. That's totally fine too. It's bianabova@gmail.com. Catch me on my other social media, Instagram and Tumblr is where you can usually find images of my things. You can also find me on Etsy where I sell stuff. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully, crossing fingers, Sunday I will have a video out about lights and shadows. Couldn't do it for this one because I didn't have enough time. But in any case, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will come out on Sunday. I'm doing videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So like I said before, subscribe, bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!